Hi there folks. Well, we're out this afternoon in the beautiful town of Ludlow. Now, in a place like Shropshire, we're blessed with having a lot of rich history that we can all be really proud of. With that, there are plenty of museums all over the county. But what about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and putting those exhibitions together so that we can all enjoy the history that's at our fingertips? Well, we've actually come today to the Shropshire Museums Collections Centre to find out how it all goes on. Let's go and take a look. Well, we're here this afternoon with Collections Centre Curator Emma Kate Lanyon, who's going to tell us a bit about what they do here.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome to the Collections Centre.
Thank you, good to be here.
Yes, yeah. So this is really the heart of the museum service for Shropshire. So it's here that we store all the collections that aren't on display. We allow people to come and look at those collections, work with them, research them. And it's where we do all the kind of collections care, recording, photographing and conservation work.
Excellent, lovely stuff. I can see you've got something ready for us here, Emma Kate. What are we looking at here?
This is lovely. So this is the register that was started when Shrewsbury Museum opened in 1835.
Oh, well.
Ludlow Museum opened in 1833, so Shrewsbury couldn't be left behind.
Of
They
course.
had to get their own society going as well. And what's lovely is that the objects that are listed in these books are still in the collections today. So we can go back and see here this chap, William Allport Leighton. He was one of the founders of the museum, and he was a specialist in plants, a botanist, and he gave the museum loads of specimens from his own collection, and we still have researchers that come and look at those specimens and use them today.
Fantastic. Wow. Well, let's go and have a look
Shall
at
we
some
have
of
a
the
look?
collections. Perfect. Well, part of the Collections Centre is the Natural Sciences store. Emma Kate, tell us a bit about what we can see in here.
Well, this and our geology store are really kind of the foundation collections for the museum service. So those very first collectors were mostly interested in the geology and natural history of the county.
Okay.
A lot of them were doctors in the towns, and they knew about the botany and the plants, and that was what they were particularly interested in. And in this store we've got collections of their pressed plants. We've got their butterfly and moth collections, and we've got a huge quantity of taxidermy as well.
Fantastic. Let's take a closer look, eh?
Yes, so if we come down here, these are some of the prestige bits that were really designed to go in country houses. A lot of these were kind of caught or shot by the local gentry, and were originally on display in their homes, and over the years they've decided to donate them. Over 90% of our collection has been donated by people from Shropshire.
Wow.
So it's gifts like that that have built up the collections over the years.
Wonderful. Some seriously big fish here.
So a lot of the taxidermy birds were presented by a chap called Henry Shaw, who was a taxidermist in Shrewsbury, and he was kind of nationally known for being really good at displaying taxidermy birds. So he's an important person in the kind of history of natural sciences.
Yeah, sure.
A local lad, and it's nice to have some of his specimens in the collection.
Excellent. No, fabulous.
Right, so this is our geology store, which, as I said, was one of our most important collections. One of the most interesting finds, really, from the county is, of course, the Shropshire Mammoths. So,
The Shropshire Mammoths.
shall we have a look?
Fabulous. Let's do it.
So these are the leg bones from one of the adult male and some of the juvenile mammoths. These poor creatures, which were some of the last mammoths to live in what is now the British Isles, got stuck in a pool of sticky mud. As the glaciers were melting, it was leaving all these wet areas.
Wow.
Where it was lovely lush grass to feed on if you're a mammoth, but very sticky mud to get out of.
What a way to go.
Yes, yeah. We know it was summertime because there are actually the remains of some of the fly cases from where the flies were feeding on the decaying mammoth corpses, and then just left the bones.
That's incredible. So in terms of their size, Emma Kate, what are we talking?
I mean, They're equivalent really to a modern day mammoth, a modern day elephant.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, people think they're absolutely mammoth, but they're sort of roughly the size of a modern elephant, slightly
Still
bigger.
big enough though.
Yes, yeah. And we know the male, he was kind of just coming into kind of full size.
Right.
He had quite a kind of an interesting life. He had damage to one of his shoulder blades, so he'd obviously been in a fight.
So that would have been from scrapping.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
And then obviously alongside some of these younger ones got trapped. But really important for science because they got trapped and buried in this peat that wasn't full of kind of oxygen. The bones were preserved and survive until today.
And we have them right here. It's incredible just to be so close to them. Well, one of the most fantastic and wondrous things that you can see here at the Collections Centre is the Costume Centre. Emma Kate, tell us a bit more about the amazing outfits that we can see.
Isn't it incredible? So we've
wonderful.
got sort of 200 years plus of fashion history in this store.
Wow.
Ranging from Queen Victoria's stockings right
Excellent.
up to kind of teddy boy outfits. So it's
Brilliant.
a great
Taking
sample
in a
of...
lot of different eras there.
Yes, yes. And it gives you a wonderful idea of how people have dressed in the county over the years, what's been sold in some of the big shops like Maddox in Shrewsbury. And it just gives you a real kind of close relationship with people. I think one thing that stood out for me was cataloguing a Victorian wedding dress just before I got married.
Oh, wow.
And I found a tiny little hidden pocket inside it, and inside was a little blue ribbon. And it's just those really poignant things that make you feel that you've got that connection with the past.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent stuff. I've been told that, of course, we're not sadly allowed to try anything on, much as it breaks my heart, but just amazing to be able to see these things in the flesh. Well, we're still in the same storeroom here, folks, and I can see, Emma Kate, there are some absolutely amazing old typewriters and fantastic other pieces here. Tell us a little bit about what we can see.
Yeah, so this is our kind of social history collection, and this is part of the collection that people often feel the closest kind of connection with, because a lot of this is stuff that you may remember from your grandparents or your great-grandparents. It's the stuff that you see in period dramas, and yes, it's a lovely mix of things.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's just the smell of it as well, isn't it? It's like breathing history. It's fantastic.
Well, I think that's one of the great things about coming on a store tour is the fact that you get to be really close up with this stuff. You can smell it, touch it from some of the stuff in our handling collection, and then really feel a connection with it.
Now, the store tours, how do people go about joining up for one of those?
Yes, well, all the details are on our website, and it's just a case of arranging a date with us. We do ask for groups rather than individuals, and we can set it up a date. You can come down. You can either just have a look in the stores, or we can get some stuff out for you to look at. There's a whole range of options that we have available, and it's used by everyone from primary school groups like we've had in today to just groups of like-minded adults that want to have an interesting afternoon.
Fantastic, what an absolute treat. Okay folks, well, a lot of the most important work that goes on here at the Collections Centre happens here in the Archaeology Lab, and we're here with Katie Miller, who's going to tell us a bit more about what all that involves.
Hi, so we are the Archaeology Lab, and we are a publicly accessible laboratory is what I like to say, and what we call ourselves. So we basically are giving people the chance to get hands-on with their history. So that means working with collections that range from anywhere from prehistory all the way into kind of the Industrial Revolution, and also gaining skills in databasing and in photography, as well as researching. So this is just a little bit of our little Roman collection that we have from Wroxeter. So we love for people to come and meet me. We do drop-in sessions, so people can come most Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to kind of get hands-on, do a morning and afternoon shift. But not only do they get to learn all about this wonderful stuff, but we hope they get to learn a new skill as well.
Fantastic, sounds good. Well folks, we've had a fantastic afternoon here at the Shropshire Museums Collections Centre, where we've been able to get properly hands-on with a lot of the wonderful history of the local area. The most wonderful thing about it being, though, you don't have to be a journalist or an academic to actually come and join in with this. Emma Kate, how can people sign up for one of the tours?
It's very simple. If you go onto our website, which is www.shropshiremuseums.org.uk,
Yeah.
you can find the details there under our store tour page, and it will tell you all about different tours that we offer and how to book them.
Brilliant stuff. As far as the fun that you can have here in the county, we would definitely recommend that you give it a go.